I have found that one of the most important ingredients to quality car repair, whether you're repairing it yourself or having it repaired, is to use good quality parts. That's why I've been using and recommending Napa parts for many years. They fit, they work, and they last. And they have the Napa name backing that up. Professionals do not like having to do a job over, and that's why so many professional shops use Napa Auto Parts. My guess is that you don't want to do the job over either, and that's why you should use Napa Parts also. So for a Napa Auto Parts store near you, go to NapaOnline.com and search for the store that is most convenient for you. You'll also see a lot of neat specials and some very useful information. So get the good stuff. Get Napa Auto Parts.
This hour of the CNC Auto Show is brought to you by your local Napa Auto Care Centers. To find a shop near you, go to NapaAutoCare.com. Live from the Car Care Studios, it's the CNC Auto Show with your personal on-air and online automotive service advisors, Aaron Clements and John Ryan Mooney. So climb in, buckle up, and enjoy the ride on the CNC Auto Show.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the CNC Auto Show. I'm Aaron Clements.
I'm John Ryan.
And we're both here to give you information on ways to make your car, truck, or SUV safer and to make it more dependable and to make it last longer for less money and less hassle. And a lot of times the maintenance part of it is what makes it to be less money. Yep. Maintaining something is much less expensive than repairing it. We have several methods to do all of this, but our preferred method is definitely by the telephone. And that number is on Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 Eastern Time is 706-863-5800. We would love to hear from you with your automotive question. If you're a service advisor or even someone that you know has told you you may need something done to your vehicle and you are just wondering if you should do it, then give us a call and we'll talk about it and we'll give you our opinion. You can also watch this show on Saturday mornings. That's 8:05 to 10 also Eastern Time. And that's on Facebook, and you can watch past shows and get some great tips on our YouTube channel. And that's all at CNC Auto Show on each one of those. And just before we fire this little puppy up, I'll mention that if you are looking for a good automotive repair facility almost anywhere around this country, you just go to NapaAutoCare.com. You'll see a list of shops. You pick the one that's right for you, and you can build a relationship. Or if you're just in a bind and out on the road and need someone, they are great people to talk to. That's NapaAutoCare.com. Okay, John Ryan, you got the keys?
Yep.
Okay, are we ready? Wow, that one sounds real good.
Yeah, it does.
And that's a diesel Chevrolet truck.
It is. Yeah.
Firing up. Okay, fantastic. Okay, along with answering those automotive questions, we always like to have a theme. Today's theme has to do with teen drivers. If you have a teenager that might be driving soon, you might want to listen to this show because we'll be giving tips along the way about things that you can do to help that teenager to learn how to drive safely, keep them safe on the road. That is a very important thing. We got some callers coming in. We'll be going to those in just a second or two, but we do want to go ahead and throw the Tech Tip quiz out. That way everyone will have a great, the same opportunity on answering that. The winner will receive the I Answered the Tech Tip quiz golf shirt, and that is embroidered. The words "I answered the Tech Tip quiz" is embroidered just under the CNC Auto Show logo. And we used to give hats with this, but we quit because after they won, the hats won't fit anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was huge.
Yeah.
Okay. Marty was only 12 years old when he got a ticket while driving. He paid money, and they let him drive again. Why did they let him drive again after getting a ticket and being only 12 years old? If you know the answer, give us a call. And again, 706-863-5800. And John Ryan, are we ready to go to the calls?
Yeah, Aaron, let's go over to William.
I am ready.
Good morning, William. Thanks for joining the show.
Good morning.
What can we help you with this morning?
Well, I have a question about these terracotta airbags.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask y'all about it because me and my wife both have Dodge Challengers, and they've both been recalled, but they don't have the part.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, it's safer to drive these cars without that hooked up than it is with it hooked up. But accident, we could be killed because of the airbag. True, you could be killed without the airbag, but the chances are, I feel like it's better chances without it.
Mm-hmm. You know, that's a
way to
really
uninstall this thing without, and the car still runs. Is what I'm trying to get to, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good question, and I did think of that a little bit over the weekend because, of course, I was reading an article earlier this week. I was actually reading this article, and during the article, I think the girl had a Honda Civic, and she had an accident. She rear-ended another car. Airbag went off, and there was debris. It actually hit her jugular vein.
Oh wow!
And she died as the result of the airbag going off, or the shrapnel coming out with it. They have done a lot of the research. The research actually has to do with, over a period of time, in the humidity causes corrosion inside the metal, and that interacts with the chemical, if I'm not mistaken, some way. Now, I might be wrong on that part, but short story, it causes metal particles to come out with the airbag, and that does cause a lot of damage. Yeah. I encourage everyone that if you have one of these vehicles that might be under that recall, to go get the recall. Now, just like you mentioned, the odds of anything happening there are very, very, very small, that something would happen with that particular airbag, but there is risk there. So I'm not sure if there's a method that an individual can use to disconnect the airbag, and I'm not sure if the dealership, if you were to tell them just that, I'm not sure that they would disconnect the airbag.
Right.
They don't recommend it.
I think, William, what you're talking about, though, is the fact that they are recalled. You take it in, but they don't have the parts, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the part, and we're both driving a 2012. And if you go buy a brand new Dodge, it's got the same airbag in it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They're still putting the same airbags in there, but they're under recall. Mm-hmm. I mean, it seems like we could do something with the Auto Association of America. Mm-hmm. This is a scam. It's called. People are getting killed. A lady was killed last week. I don't know, the Honda Civic. Mm-hmm. I heard about it on the news just last Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
She was killed from the airbag deploying, and it threw that metal out.
I mean, that is a great question, though. I mean, and which I guess what you're saying, and the interesting side of this is, are you safer with that airbag disconnected than you would be with the airbag connected, with the possibility that it could be one of those that could explode the wrong way and cause a problem.
Right, and you could hit a deer and get killed from the airbag and not even...
Exactly, that's when it comes out okay. Like you mentioned, hitting a deer, a minor wreck, and then the possibility of that airbag coming out and totally changing the outcome of that wreck. I'm in the same agreement.
But William, what's amazing is that whole article that they talked about the airbags. They talked about making sure that people goes to get the recall performed, and that was the last part of the article, saying encourage people to go do it. And I said, that would be a good thing if we mentioned on the radio show, but they didn't really cover the aspect of what would happen if they don't have the parts available to repair the vehicle.
They advise you to park it, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Park it? Oh,
yeah. William,
I
think you have almost stumped us a little bit, because at least I don't have a good answer for that on being able to tell you what to do. I do know that there's methods that people can get automotive repair manuals and have ways to disconnect airbags. But I'm not sure if I would recommend it or not. That would be a really tough decision to make. So you have added a very interesting twist into the whole deal. And we may have other callers that may call in and mention things or share their ideas on just that. Are you safer disconnecting the airbag if it's one covered under that recall and they don't have the parts, or should you just leave it like it is and drive carefully and wait and take that chance? So great question.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll have other callers on the subject.
All right, man. Thanks.
You've added an interesting twist to our show today, William. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, the number to call 706-863-5800. John Ryan, I'm not sure if we're going to have time.
Yeah, we're not.
To take another caller right now.
Hopefully they'll hang on for us.
If Steve and McCoot will hold just a little bit, then we will be right back with them and to answer their questions. And also we'll be talking more about teenage drivers, and now we'll be talking probably a little bit more about airbags, the airbags that have been recalled. All of that and a lot more just after these messages.
Aaron Clements for Napa Auto Care Center.
Regular maintenance is the key to getting the most out of your vehicle, but you shouldn't have to sacrifice trust and peace of mind when finding a repair center for your automobile. Napa Auto Care Centers are built around a high-quality standard whereby independent repair business owners are invited to join based on integrity, qualifications, and expertise. That's how Napa Auto Care ensures that you get the best-in-class service that you deserve. From routine maintenance to major repairs, you are covered with ASE-certified technicians who use high-quality Napa parts and provide exceptional work that you can feel confident about, knowing it's backed by a 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty. With the largest network of independent technicians in the U.S., a Napa Auto Care Center is sure to be near wherever you may be.
Thanks, Aaron. For a list of Napa Auto Care Centers near you, go to NapaAutoCare.com or dial 1-800-LET-NAPA.
Okay, so 5 tacos of cheese and a large soda, that's $10,012. Please drive around.
Wait, 10,000 what?
It's obvious you're buzzed and driving.
I've only had a few. I'm fine.
Yeah, the food's $12, but getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Please drive around. Actually, just park and come in.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Thanks for listening to the CNC Auto Show with Aaron Clements and John Ryan Mooney, 2 real live automotive maintenance and repair experts who actually work on all kinds of vehicles every week. So they're always up to date on what's happening in the automotive world. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes, so don't you dare touch that dial.
Confessions of a Potentially Perfect Parent, brought to you by AdoptUsKids.org.
I might look like an adult, like a person who could possibly be a parent, but I have no idea how to talk like one. And everyone knows that if you want to be a parent, you have to sound good when you say things like, "Don't make me turn this car around," or "because I said so," or "Don't make me come back there." I don't even really know what those things mean, but I know that I actually believed my parents when they said them to me. How did they manage to sound so convincing? Here we go. "Don't make me come back there." Ugh, no, that's not tough enough at all. Kids can sense weakness. "Don't make me come back there." Ooh, yeah, that's better. In fact, that kind of sounded like my dad. Weird.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to listen to you practice your dad voice. Call 1-888-200-4005 or visit AdoptUsKids.org for more information. This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
If you are looking for a Napa Auto Care Center to service and repair your vehicle, consider Nuttall Tire. Nuttall Tire is located at 2405 Millwood Avenue. Nuttall Tire are your tire experts, and they provide professional automotive services, including all major and minor repairs. Most repairs come with a 2-year, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty with the Napa name to back it up. They have been providing automotive service to the Lexington, Dentsville, and surrounding areas for over 30 years. That's over 3 generations of family-owned and operated service. It's their family serving yours. Nuttall's Tire has a nice, comfortable waiting room with free Wi-Fi where you can relax with a cup of their fresh coffee, or they are happy to provide local shuttle service back to your home or office. To request a quote, make an appointment, or to learn more about Nuttall's Tire, give them a call at 803-254-7988 or visit their website at nuttalltire.com.
Let's head back down to the Car Care Studio with Aaron Clements and John Ryan Mooney.
She's real fine, my 409. She's real fine, my 409.
are back with you with the CNC Auto Show, and it may be tempting for your teen driver to eat, drink, flip around the radio dial and play music loudly, all those things while they're riding around town. However, all of that stuff can cause your teen's mind and vision to wander a little bit. So as an inexperienced driver, teens are more apt to lose control of their car if they have a lot of distractions. So you want to make sure that they know to concentrate on driving. And then as those driving skills come, and they'll get used to a lot of other things, and they can add a few other items to that, like the music and changing the station and the other stuff. Without any problems. But for when they're first learning how to drive, it's good to let them concentrate 100% on controlling that vehicle, and the less distractions on that teenager, the better. If you have questions about your car, truck, or SUV, give us a call, and the number is 706-863-5800, and that's 8:05 to 10 Eastern Time. And who will we be talking to?
Aaron, let's go over to McCoot.
Hello, McCoot, and welcome to the CNC Auto Show. And what can we help with?
I'd like to answer your tech tip.
Oh, perfect. Absolutely, we can do that. Okay, we're going to put you on stage. You are up on the stage, and we are ready for you to answer our tech tip quiz.
This kid who was 12-year-old was driving a golf cart, and he was driving not in golf lane and some on the road.
Oh, my goodness. McCoy, you evidently, you evidently don't know that we have some new shirts now. We got new colors. We kept the same color for a lot of years, and now we have a couple of different colors. We have a green and a blue, but you didn't win this one.
Okay.
But the tech tip quiz will win the next one, because we are very proud for you to wear the tech tip quiz, because I recognize your name. You are a past winner.
Right.
And you will go in the tech tip quiz Hall of Fame one day.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much for calling. Okay, the number to call, 706-863-5800. That's 8:05 to 10 Eastern Time. And we, on Saturdays, we are ready to go to who?
We're going over to Jeff. Aaron.
To Jeff. Jeff in South Carolina, and what can we help with?
Yeah, I have a 1986 MR2 with automatic transmission.
Mm-hmm.
It's currently in the shop. I had my son put a new engine in it, and for some reason the transmission is not changing gears properly.
Mm-hmm.
And my mechanic has had a stump with it because he can't get it to switch gears like it's supposed to when you're going down the road. And he checked the solenoids in it. I even ordered him a repair manual. But his problem is he can't find the wiring schematics for the automatic transmission.
Mm-hmm.
I have one for 87 on, but I can't find them. So I just want to know if you could give me a tip on where to find it.
Yeah, that's great.
And who I could order it from.
Jeff, I would say that's the very first one I've ever heard of with an automatic transmission, actually.
Oh, okay.
And that very well could be the issue.
Yeah.
No doubt. There's several different technical information sources. One that we use on a commercial side is the All Data, which is a fantastic one. They use very good diagrams. A lot of times, like I said, if that vehicle's kind of a rare one, sometimes it's hard to find. If you give us a call at the shop, I'll be glad to at least look it up and see if that's something we can track down for you.
Okay, well, I called a couple of weeks ago, and I talked to one of your personnel there, and they said they had no idea on it. So I was just wondering.
You call either store, ask for Aaron or JR, and we'll still try and track that down for you.
Yeah, a lot of times during our normal, if you were to look in some of our normal areas that we get it from, and we do use the professional software
right
on having stuff like that, it may say no. But I'll give you an example. I've got a large number of older books that are upstairs.
Yeah.
That they wouldn't even, a lot of the people around the shop area may not even know where they're at, much less where to look. Now, it may not necessarily have the wiring diagram we're looking for, but you never know. I mean, you might look in and have everything you need to look at that. And
Jeff, real quick, you mentioned they replaced the engine, and I'm assuming the transmission shifted okay before that?
Yes, it did.
By any chance, could the orientation of the connectors on the solenoids be swapped or anything like that? Does everything look pretty much in place?
Yeah. Good idea.
Oh, I don't know, because it's been in the shop for 4 months now, and I really.
Yeah, of course you
wanted me to have it, so I'd like to get it back on the road.
But John Ryan's got a good point. If it was working before the engine was replaced, that means it just about has to be something that had to do with replacing the engine.
Yeah, it's going to be something in the wiring. I mean, it could be a simple, one ground that's not on the bell housing or something like that. That could be causing
another great tip. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I'll relay that. And also, I got a tip. Somebody saying the hose, some little short hose on there on the transmission for the air intake or whatever. It has a lot to do with the transmission. I'm not sure, but the mechanic's trying his best to fix it, but he's had a stump with it, and we're just trying to figure it out. So he said you could manually change the gears.
So that proves right there it's an electrical problem. I mean, the solenoids could be, if I'm not mistaken, that one only has 2 solenoids. They could be plugged up incorrectly. A ground wire. That no doubt that's the ECM controls when those solenoids open and close. So if it's not grounded, maybe the solenoids aren't even opening and closing.
Of course, you do have to worry about the computer itself,
right? But there again, I mean, an engine swap.
That's not going to change anything inside the computer during an engine swap.
Okay.
I think John Ryan hit on it more, possibly a ground. I can almost picture a ground wire being off somewhere.
Yeah, because if those solenoids are getting power, maybe they have a grounded through the little 10 millimeter bolt that holds them in or something.
Good shot.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll mention that to him. And thank you, guys. Enjoy the show.
Well, we thank you very much. We are going to run out of time before we go to the next caller, so we are going to ask Steve and Scott to hold on just for a little bit. We will be right back as soon as we cover a few messages there. And we will also be talking about teen drivers. And we also have a question about the airbag issue on the table. Are you better to disconnect the airbag if one's under a recall, or are you better to leave it connected and wait for the parts to come in? Great question. We'll be right back just after this.
Because of my career as an automotive technician, I naturally love good equipment.
Aaron Clements for Camo Manufacturing.
A really good example of good equipment is the floor cleaning machine that I bought from Camo probably 9 or 10 years ago. That thing was used almost every weekday on stained, hard to clean auto repair shop floors for all of those years and still worked great. Well, just like any other field, new technology came along in the floor cleaning equipment industry and we wanted it. So we traded our still working 9 or 10-year-old machine in on a brand new floor cleaning machine from Camo. This one does an even better job while using less cleaning solution and less water. So if you're looking for professional, long-lasting cleaning equipment, cleaning supplies that are good for the environment, or any other business supplies, call Camo at 706-724-1488. That's 706-724-1488.
Or visit their website at camo.com.
Okay, so 5 tacos of cheese and a large soda, that's $10,012. Please drive around.
Wait, 10,000 what?
It's obvious you're buzzed and driving.
I've only had a few. I'm fine.
Yeah, the food's $12, but getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Please drive around. Actually, just park and come in.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome to the CC Auto Show. This hour is brought to you in part by your local Napa Auto Care Centers. For as far back as I can remember, Napa Auto Parts has been known as the parts supplier for the professional automotive repair shops. I remember walking into our local Napa store when I was just 13 years old. It was like a social club for technicians. We would talk to other technicians about new techniques and equipment. We knew we were buying good quality parts, and we would all get advice from the very knowledgeable people standing at the counter. Wow, those were great memories. Well, a lot has changed over the years. We now order most of our parts online, and we very seldom pick our parts up. We place the order, and they magically appear a short period of time later. We have megabytes of information at our fingertips. The name of the game is to get it done correctly but fast. But some things have stayed the same. Napa still caters to the professional shops, and they still sell good, high-quality parts. Some good things just get better. To find a Napa Auto Care Center near you, go to napaautocare.com.
You're listening to the CNC Auto Show with Aaron Clements and John Ryan Mooney, two ASC certified master technicians who really appreciate you taking your time to join us today. We'll be right back with more from Aaron and John Ryan in just a couple of minutes. So stay right where you are for more great car care advice on the CNC Auto Show.
This entire piece of music was played with only two instruments, a right hand and a left hand. Hands can do incredible things, but nothing compares to using them to help save a life with hands-only CPR. If an adult suddenly collapses, call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of their chest until help arrives. Hands-only CPR is recommended by the American Heart Association, and it's incredibly easy and effective. Find out more about this latest method of CPR at handsonlycpr.org. The power to help save a life is in your hands. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
If you are a good professional automotive repair facility, consider Wetzel's Automotive. Wetzel's Automotive is a Napa Auto Care Center located at 2017 Augusta Road in West Columbia. As a Napa Auto Care Center, they follow a strict code of ethics so customers know up front what to expect. They have ASC certified technicians and a 2-year, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty on most repairs, and they have the Napa name to back it up. The Wetzel's Automotive team are true professionals with training and equipment to perform all major and minor repairs, including the more complex issues. And if you plan to keep your car for many years, Wetzel's is the place to go. They will keep you informed of preventative maintenance services that will keep your vehicle safe and dependable for many years to come. So if you are looking for a good repair facility to service your vehicle, call Wetzel's Automotive. The number to call is 803-739-2999.
It's time for more good stuff with Aaron Clements and John Ryan Mooney.
Welcome back to the CNC Auto Show. Implement your own graduated licensing program. Even if your state has an excellent program for new drivers, consider implementing your own set of rules until you're comfortable with your team's driving skills. If you got a question about your car, truck, or SUV, give us a call, 706-863-5800. And John Ryan, who will we be talking to next?
And let's go over to Scott.
Hello, Scott, and welcome to the CNC Auto Show.
Hello. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for calling.
I've got a 2002 Nissan Pathfinder, and recently the airbag light started flashing. I found stuff on the internet to try to reset it. I can get into, I guess they call it a maintenance mode, and I get a code of, I think, 1-8.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to go from there.
Yeah. So, was it a series of cycling the keys to get it to flash out?
That's right. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. No doubt. That is like you mentioned. I think our manual calls it service mode or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's one way of getting the code. Now, of course, I could look up a code 18. If I'm not mistaken, 18 is for the clock spring, which is basically it's saying it does not see the circuitry or the airbag in the driver's steering wheel. Of course, that wiring goes up the bottom of the column, and then the only way it can allow the wires to go through the steering column is to have what's called a clock spring, which some places call it a spiral cable. I mean, there's 100 different names for it, but a lot of times the contacts in the clock spring itself will either break or not make good contact, and then of course that the current can't be gone through the steering wheel. So typically, diagnostics would be a very smart move for you, simply because, very rarely do airbags technically go bad as far as the, what happens inside of them. So normally it's something more like a connection issue, a module issue, or a wiring issue. We've seen quite a few clock springs on those vehicles, but there again, it could be something as simple as a wiring issue under the dash or something like that. So,
Scott, does your horn work?
Yes, it works just fine.
Does it have radio controls and all that in the steering wheel, or no?
It does, but we've changed out the radio.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say if those work, but yeah, like what Aaron mentioned is if the horn works, a lot of times when a clock spring can, just totally fails.
If it breaks out completely.
If it breaks out and it's not rotating, the horn will stop working. Actually seen some the exact opposite. The horn stays on too. That's kind of a nightmare. But yeah, I lean towards the clock spring area. Again, it'd be a wise decision to have some diagnostics run, because it potentially could save you a lot of money. Again, it could be something as simple as the connection going to the clock spring. Of course, the biggest thing to be aware is obviously with that light on, and you probably know this, but that means that the system will not function at all, no matter what, wreck, spontaneous, anything. It will not deploy those airbags. So,
but also, Scott, I'm the safety officer around here
because he's the most reckless.
I have to mention it's because I've been in the emergency room the most.
Yeah.
I always have to mention that if you're working with an airbag, there's a lot of precautions you want to take as you're working on them. And of course, there's areas that you can disable the airbag system, even though the light's on. It won't go off in an accident, but it may go off while you're working on it.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you cover all the precautions when you're working on it.
And that definitely changed the estimate price.
It does. Because to start with, when you're working on it and you hear that loud boom, well, luckily, hopefully you wouldn't be behind the deal, but you spend about $1,000 when that happens. So you don't want to deploy that bad boy when you're working on it. But like John Ryan mentioned, there are other tests that just because it shows that code don't mean that it's a sure thing that the clock spring's bad. It's a probability, but it don't necessarily. But a technician has methods of going in and isolating it from that.
Right.
Once it shows that code, he'll test the clock spring at the top, and then he'll have to do some checks at the wiring under the bottom to kind of bypass, to take the clock spring out of the picture.
And Scott, since you already kind of let the secret out of the bag as far as flashing those codes out, you do know that you can clear them that way too, right?
I've tried to clear it, and I think all I can get it to do is just keep flashing what the problem code is.
That was going to be my question. Had you tried to clear it out? And if it does continue to flash, that means that's a current problem. It's not like a history one. So it does have a current problem with it. So.
Right. Well, I guess that's something that you guys can take care of at your shop or take a look at.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Can I try to answer the question?
Absolutely, you can. Oh, and Scott, I'm gonna mention one other thing also. Now, if you look at it anymore yourself, and you wanted us to be 100% sure what that code means, if you call back at the shop, we don't mind a bit in the world looking it up in the computer and saying, well, this is exactly what that code is, and because if you look at a lot of that yourself. Okay. Yes, you can. You're definitely able to ask our question. We have to put you on stage, though, if that's okay. Which I hope was okay, because you're already up there now.
It happens.
Okay. We are ready for the answer to our tech tip quiz.
So you said that the 12-year-old had gotten a ticket, but he paid money to keep driving.
Exactly. That is, well, I tell you what, just so everybody will be on the same page, I'll go ahead and ask the question. Marty was only 12 years old when he got a ticket while driving. He paid money, and they let him drive again. Why did they let him drive again after getting a ticket and being only 12 years old?
Well, I'm thinking that he had gone to the carnival.
The carnival?
He bought a ticket, and he got another ticket and then he paid money to keep driving, get another ticket.
Oh, well, what if it wasn't a carnival and it was a place that maybe had something similar to that? Let's say, could it be a video game would fit the same way?
Video game works the exact same way.
Okay. You are absolutely right. Marty was at Video World, and he was driving a race car video game and did well. He received a coupon ticket and had to deposit another $1 to get to drive another time in there to win more coupons and more tickets on there. So you're absolutely right. You're the winner of the Tech Tip Quiz, and you are now. This is really, Scott, it's kind of huge. I don't know if you've ever been a Tech Tip Quiz winner before or not, but
he'll probably be able to fix the airbag issue now.
Yeah, without question. The airbag issue is going to be gone. I mean, the time you put this shirt on, I mean, man, all these ideas are just going to pop into your head, and you're going to trace the problem down. It's going to be fixed in no time.
It'll be something easy, too.
Yeah, and when you go to a movie theater, don't wait in the back of the line. Walk on up to the front as long as you're wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
And then let us know how that works. And
a bulletproof vest.
Yeah. Okay. So you are the winner, and if you hold on the line, we'll get your information, and that way we'll give you all the details on how to get the shirt to you, or you get by here, pick it up.
Okay.
Okay. And we appreciate it.
Thanks for your help.
Well, thank you for the question, and also thank you for answering our Tech Tip Quiz.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay, the number to call, 706-863-5800. If you got a question about your car, truck, or SUV, you give us a call, and that's 8:05 to 10 Eastern Time. And we are talking about teenage drivers, so we want to give some more tips about that. I'm going to mention this one more time because I think it's important. A new driver needs to make sure that everyone in the car has their seatbelt on. Yeah. And this part's kind of hard to think about, but in a terrible accident, especially like a rollover accident, one unrestrained person can hurt a lot of other people inside that vehicle that are buckled up. So it's not just that one person at risk if they're in there without being buckled up. And you want to make sure that if there's a carload of people inside the vehicle, that they're not talking loud, cutting up, and all these other things. On beginning, that can definitely restrict, can affect a new driver,
right?
When they're used to that. So be careful with that part. And also, you want to help these kids to know when to make the right decisions, or how to make the right decisions as they're learning how to drive. You want to also, another thing is give that teenage driver the opportunity not to drive.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that if they're somewhere and they don't feel comfortable, make them very comfortable calling you and saying, I just don't think I should drive home right now, or the traffic is real bad, I don't really want to drive,
or it's snowing.
Exactly. And that way they can avoid being in unsafe conditions on doing that. Okay, so there's a lot of other things having to do with teenage driving. I'm going to mention one other one real quickly. Make sure that your child is able to go to driving school before they start driving a lot. Okay, we are going to need to take another quick break, and when we return, we'll be talking more about teen drivers, and we'll be ready to answer your automotive questions as soon as we return.
Aaron Clements for Napa Auto Care Center.
Regular maintenance is the key to getting the most out of your vehicle, but you shouldn't have to sacrifice trust and peace of mind when finding a repair center for your automobile. Napa Auto Care Centers are built around a high-quality standard whereby independent repair business owners are invited to join based on integrity, qualifications, and expertise. That's how Napa Auto Care ensures that you get the best-in-class service that you deserve. From routine maintenance to major repairs, you are covered with ASC-certified technicians who use high-quality quality Napa parts and provide exceptional work that you can feel confident about, knowing it's backed by a 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty. With the largest network of independent technicians in the U.S., a Napa Auto Care Center is sure to be near wherever you may be.
Thanks, Aaron. For a list of Napa Auto Care centers near you, go to napaautocare.com or dial 1-800-LET-NAPA.
Confessions of a Potentially Perfect Parent, brought to you by AdoptUsKids.org.
I might look like an adult, like a person who could possibly be a parent, but I have no idea how to talk like one. And everyone knows that if you want to be a parent, you have to sound good when you say things like, "Don't make me turn this car around," or "because I said so," or "Don't make me come back there." I don't even really know what those things mean, but I know that I actually believed my parents when they said them to me. How did they manage to sound so convincing? Here we go. "Don't make me come back there." Ugh, no, that's not tough enough at all. Kids can sense weakness. "Don't make me come back there." Ooh, yeah, that's better. In fact, that kind of sounded like my dad. Weird.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to listen to you practice your dad voice. Call 1-888-200-4005 or visit AdoptUsKids.org for more information. This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
Thank you for sharing your morning with us right here on the CNC Auto Show, hosted by Aaron Clements and John Ryan Mooney, two ASC certified master technicians who believe in helping you make your car run better and last longer while saving you money and having fun, all at the same time. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter, Brooklyn, was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Aaron, I know you get a kick out of letting our listeners know where they can find a great Napa Auto Care Center, so tell us about one here in the Midlands.
Here's what I know everyone will like, JR. It's Three Man Auto Service. They are located at 1215 Rosewood Drive in Columbia. Three Man Auto Service has the right equipment and training to perform all major and minor repairs on your car, truck, van, or SUV. That includes everything from a basic oil change and lube on up to a computer system diagnostic test. And if you have a diesel engine that is in need of repairs or maintenance, Three Man Auto Service is the place to go. As a Napa Auto Care Center, they feature ASC certified automotive technicians and offer a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on most repairs. That's Three Man Auto Service, 1215 Rosewood Drive in Columbia. The number to call is 803-748-0932, and tell them Aaron sent you.
That's 803-748-0932.
Welcome back to more of the CNC Auto Show with Aaron Clements and John Ryan Mooney.
I've been driving all night, man, sweat on the wheel. It's my baby calling, says I need you here. And it's 4:30 and I'm shifting gear.
We are back with you. The number to call, 706-863-5800, 8:05 to 10 Saturday mornings Eastern time. And if your teen has to pay for some of the car-related expenses like the gas and maybe a little bit of the insurance premiums, chances are he or she will take driving a lot more seriously and be safer on the road. So make sure your child knows who will pay for what, and when possible, have your teen help out with the cost of his or her car ownership, even if it's just buying gas every once in a while. It's still a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It starts to teach them how to take care of the car.
Yep. Like you said,
and also we do get a lot of people that do this, and I think it is a very, very good thing. They allow their new driver to come down as they are having their car repaired.
Right.
And that new driver will stand there while the father or mother talks to the service advisor, lets him know what needs to be done to the car. Mm-hmm. And then I'll notice that they make sure that same driver comes down with them to pick the vehicle up so they'll know what questions. And you can tell that they're trying to teach their child responsibility, because they'll ask a lot of questions about the car. And of course, what we want to do is always answer those questions, because along with learning how to drive comes learning how to maintain a vehicle as you're going. So you would want to make sure that when your child, when it comes time for car repair, let's just say that all of a sudden the child's going off to another city, they're going to have to know how to take the vehicle in for an oil change and lube, how to build a relationship with the shop, and what questions to ask when they're having it repaired.
That's right. Yeah.
So all of that is very important. Are we ready to go to the calls?
Yeah, Aaron, looks like we're going to go over to Joseph.
I think that's perfect. Joseph, welcome to the CNC Auto Show, and what can we help you with today?
Well, good morning to y'all. Just a quick mention. I wear prescription safety glasses. I wear them all the time. They're like, wire frame. I'd probably get plastic if I had to do over. But even if you don't have to have prescription glasses, with those kind of airbags, they say they throw out a lot of shrapnel. And if you don't wear glasses, you can look around and like these industrial supply places and stuff that carry safety equipment. Then if you wear a prescription, you'd have to call around and see who carries them or would order them for you. Because it sounds like those airbags is really widespread, and they claim they throw out a lot of shrapnel. And I know if I didn't have safety glasses, I would get safety glasses, even if my car isn't on a recall list or something. But it's something to consider,
Yeah, definitely. Now, let me ask you this real quick. And as a matter of fact, other callers can call in and give their opinion on this real quickly also if they decide on it. If you had the decision to make, if you had one of these airbags that's under recall, stand a chance on shrapnel coming out, would you rather your airbag be connected or disconnected?
I'd rather have it disconnected.
Disconnect. Okay. We curious. Oh, and now also the other thing I'll mention, of course, the safety glasses is a good thing, but for instance, that last girl that happened to, it actually hit the jugular vein in her neck, and she died. So of course you still, even with the safety glasses, there's still issues there. Okay,
it's
that's
just,
it.
As far as shrapnel getting in your eyes, because I've had drill bits break and other stuff, and working with power tools, and I mean it's most people don't get killed by them, but it just occurred to me, about shrapnel coming out. Well, you don't want to get blinded either if you do make it through the wreck. So.
Great tip. Great tip all the way around using safety glasses. Okay, John Ryan, who will we be talking to?
All right, Aaron, let's go over to Butch.
Hello, Butch. Welcome to the CNC Auto Show.
Well, good morning. How you doing?
We are doing very well. We appreciate the phone call.
Okay, I messed up. I told my wife she needed to take her 2007 Lincoln Town Car with 45,000 miles and get the fuel system cleaned on it. She did. It cut the gas mileage in half. Now she's billing me for it every month.
So when the fuel system was cleaned, it seemed to lower the fuel mileage?
Cut it in half. She's getting 22 miles in a gallon. Now she's getting 12.
Wow. Something didn't...
Butch, what kind of fuel system cleaning was done? Do you know?
I took it to the dealer. They went through it.
Well, the reason I asked is there's several different ones. For instance, there's a procedure called a motor vac. That one goes into the fuel lines and uses a chemical cleaner. There's another one, BG induction service, that goes in front of the throttle body. But the biggest thing is both these systems have something in common, and of course, obviously, they remove carbon. What I'm wondering is if they didn't reset what they call the keep alive memory. Now, no doubt it probably wouldn't be that drastic, though. It should only be a mile or two, apart. I would definitely try and get that back in and see what's going on, because there could be no check engine light or anything like that's on.
No check engine light at all.
Okay. Yeah, something's going on there with the metering of the fuel, because it definitely sounds like it's a lot more or a lot richer than it should be, obviously using that much gas. So something's going to be turning up there, whether it be, I don't know if, the check engine light would be on for this, but if the mass airflow was unplugged.
That's what I was thinking,
like
wondering about the mass airflow. It maybe if they cleaned it and it was with
sounds like they put it in backwards if that's the case.
Yeah,
you know? I mean,
yeah. Something drastically went wrong with that. I would go back to the dealership and let them know that the gas mileage did drop and give them the opportunity to go over everything, because it would something would have to be bad wrong to drop that amount. Especially during a procedure that's supposed to help fuel mileage.
It seemed like it was definitely right after this service.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely right after.
Wow.
Yeah, I put 2 buckets under the exhaust pipe to see if the gas would run it off out the tailpipe and fill up my bucket. But it didn't
I
do
would
it.
imagine so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would give them that opportunity to look at that again.
All right, I appreciate it.
Okay, we thank you. And of course, you wonder, was there something originally wrong, possibly with the O2 sensor?
Right.
And
but
oxygen sensor.
The check engine light's fooling me.
Yeah, it seems like check engine light would come on in a situation like that. that would come up. Yeah. Okay, now determining whether a 15-year-old is ready to drive can be one of the hardest decisions for a lot of parents to make. And it's most parents know what's best for the child.
Right.
So, but I encourage the parents to evaluate that very closely. Give it a lot of thought on saying, is my child ready to drive? And of course, that would include a good test drive with the teenage driver, and always let your driver know. It never hurts to each time they go out, remind them to be careful.
And I guess I'm just basing this off of my upbringing, but I think things like golf carts and stuff like that are important because they really do teach a lot. Obviously, you're not going to have a major wreck in a golf cart. It's kind of a great thing to learn on. So stuff like that, I think, goes a long way.
Yeah, giving them the early part of it to learn how to drive. Okay, we didn't come up with the with any complete conclusion of best case scenario on if you had an airbag that should be covered under warranty, they don't have the parts.
Right.
Is it better to disconnect or connect? Some people chose the disconnect part, would rather see it disconnected. My main thing I want to mention, though, is that if you do have one of these that even may be covered under one of the warranties, go ahead and start the process immediately. Don't let it be one of those things that you had intended to do, but you forgot to do.
Yeah.
You might even make yourself a reminder note, maybe once a month, to remind you, check on part again for airbag, because that's one of those type things you don't want to forget. Okay, we are just about completely out of time. The time clock is on E, and we need to pull over for now, but we'll be back in the road in no time. I'm Aaron Clements with co-host John Ryan Mooney. Our show producers are Sherry Moxley, Zach Llewellyn, Bert Dean, Bo Roberts, Alan Dean, and Sandy Klein. And each and every one of us would like to say thank you for tuning in, and those that logged in also, and especially those that called in to be a part of the show. You can watch this show on Facebook. You can watch it on YouTube, and we appreciate it very much. And we will see you the next time we crank up the CNC Auto Show.
One in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter, Brooklyn, was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
I have found that one of the most important ingredients to quality car repair, whether you're repairing it yourself or having it repaired, is to use good quality parts. That's why I've been using and recommending Napa parts for many years. They fit, they work, and they last. And they have the Napa name backing that up. Professionals do not like having to do a job over, and that's why so many professional shops use Napa Auto Parts. My guess is that you don't want to do the job over either, and that's why you should use Napa Parts also. So for a Napa Auto Parts store near you, go to NapaOnline.com and search for the store that is most convenient for you. You'll also see a lot of neat specials and some very useful information. So get the good stuff. Get Napa Auto Parts.